good evening to our esteemed resource person, Madam Pragya Nopany, respected Madam Meenakshi Sialji, eminent dignitaries, and all the participants. Welcome to the second day of the workshop. We are delighted to continue this enriching journey with Pragya ma'am, who will share her valuable insights on what is so surprising about forces. I am sure you all had a wonderful experience yesterday. Before we begin today's session, let us briefly reflect on the engaging and insightful discussions from day one. Last session deepened our understandings of forces through interactive problem solving and thought provoking examples. Discussions on spring systems and connected bodies was really enriching, and it was heartening to witness such engaging participation from everyone. We are truly privileged to have Pragya ma'am with us once again, an inspiring educator known for her clarity of thought and engaging teaching style. Her ability to connect fundamental concepts with real life situations makes learning more meaningful and enjoyable. We are confident that today's session will be equally stimulating and insightful. Let us now continue this exciting journey of exploring physics together. Now I invite Pragya ma'am to take over the session. Or ma'am, we can have some discussion with our participants if you allow us. Pragya ma'am? Pragya ma'am, if you will give us a time, we can have a discussion with our participants.
Yes, ma'am, please have.
Okay. So anyone from the participant who wish to share your feedback regarding yesterday's session? Anyone? Or you can share your expectations, what you expect from this workshop. You can share your views.
Yeah.
Even you can.
What's the
Yes.
important point that yesterday I learned very clearly that it is not important to get the answer. It's very important to what the process that we are getting, what process that we are getting. The answer that is very clear from Pragya's madam lecture, discussing the spring balance, the different system and how the force is 1 Newton or more than 1 Newton. So that's very, very beautiful and really learned that the process is very important.
Right. So, anyone who has attempted the quiz that Pragya ma'am has shared, any feedback regarding that quiz on the Google Classroom? Shashank Verma has raised his hand. So, Shank, please share. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, ma'am. For the feedback, actually, I wanted to share.
Right.
So I really, really enjoyed it. I learned a lot. I think it just brought so much joy to me. Lots of excitement that I can, improve my own way of teaching and also thinking about how to structure my classes and also create better materials, better problems. One thing I thought it will really help to get perspective of Pragya ma'am and also all of you is how this could look like in the classroom, right? Whether that's a school or a IIT JEE prep or any prep class or a regular high school classroom, how this could look like. And since you guys might have experience actually implementing this style of teaching in the classroom, how do students respond to it and how the learning materials can be created in an effective way to conduct such a thing. So I would love some practical advice on how this can be done uh, in the classroom. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks for your feedback, Shashank. Meenakshi ma'am, anything else you want to share?
Regarding he's saying about learning material, so actually when we are taking any problem, so for the students, naturally, as Pragya ma'am has told, we can't go with the students in such a vast manner. So from these, we have to design the problems, and those in those problems, first we have to tell them about, as in the previous class, that how we are taking Newton's laws, and what are the spring is to be measured, whether it is the action or the reaction. And after that, you can design problems upon that. So we have to take one concept in the class, and after that concept, we have to design 2 3 problems in the class, and then we can discuss those problems. No doubt, as in the feedback form, also it is that there is problem of time constraint is there. We cannot go for every topic in the class like this, but you see, we can uh, do this for certain problems, for certain materials, and that when you are taking for certain topics, so naturally, we have to inculcate competency building among students, that how they should think, what should be the process. Main the problem is that questioning should be there. So, as Pragya ma'am has told us, that no answer is wrong or right. So, that is the perspective in which we are taking. So, we have to encourage the students in the class, that we should encourage that they should speak and they should ask questions, and the session must be interactive. Whenever we teach, now it's not the time that we should lecture. We here now teacher is not only to give the lecture. Now teacher is mentor, teacher is facilitator. We have to facilitate them. They will take the problems, and whenever we are taking the problems, we have to tell them that how you have to tackle with those problems. If these are the competency building, or if they are critical thinking problem, let's say if we are taking critical thinking problem, we have to tell the students, okay, first of all, the most necessary part is that the student must read the problem very thoroughly. So that is most important. We have to take, student has to take every point, every assumption, everything that is given, and after that understanding, and then he or she has to take the conceptual understanding, that in this problem, what are the concepts which are taken, and if that will be applied, then naturally the student can perform critical thinking problem very well. So that is our main aim, is to inculcate thinking ideas in the mind of the students. So that's my submission.
Yes, ma'am, you are truly right.
Ma'am, can I say some about the feedback?
Shruti Chopra, yeah, you can.
Uh,
Okay. Um, yes, ma'am. So I just wanted to add to what has already been said. I think yesterday's session very beautifully illustrated to us the power of questioning in the classroom, and how questioning needs to not only elicit students alternative conceptions, but also promote thinking and metacognition among learners. So constantly, when ma'am, even during the session, she constantly made us reflect on why are we giving a particular answer, what are the assumptions that we are making inherently without it being clearly given in the question. So I think the focus in the classroom needs to shift from the problem solving. When I say problem solving, the hurry to arrive at the solution. So the focus needs to shift from that to engaging with the problem. So we need to engage with the problem. We need to think deeper, and this is how one can promote metacognitive skills among learners.
Yes, today's waiting period remind me the last workshop regarding the question framing. So it is exactly that how to frame the question for the students, and just to make them think over the problem, not to just cram the subject and just put the answers. So our being a teacher, it's our responsibility to frame a very right question for the students to check their abilities, so that they can have a good observation as well as a good thought process. Pragya ma'am, are you ready? Pragya ma'am, am I audible?
Ma'am, can I add something if you allow?
Sure, sure.
Yeah, thank you, Neetu ma'am. Regarding yesterday's session, I would like to add in this thing what I learned. First, how can we turn a normal lecture class into an inquiry-based classroom? And Pragya ma'am modeled that herself being a teacher yesterday, that this is the way I'm teaching you, and this is the way now you have to carry forward towards your towards your students. Secondly, in the scenario where coaching centers are like promoting the culture of just having the shortcuts of solving the questions rather than thinking about the question, she told us, she made us rethink that you have to, how we have to view the problem as a process, not as something that you have to just have a quick answer by applying a shortcut way of solving the question. So, this is what I have learned yesterday to view the mechanics problem specifically. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes, Shruti, you are right. So, main thing is the observation regarding the problem. How we observe, how we think. So that is the most important thing.
Yes.
Any other one from the audience who want to share anything? Let me call Pragya ma'am because she's not giving a response. Please give me a time to
Taking the
call.
phone. I have. She's
So,
not.
ma'am,
Yes, yes.
I
Yes,
apologize.
welcome Pragya ma'am.
I really apologize to everybody because at the last moment, some of my slides got deleted, and I had no option but to put them together once again. So, my deep apologies. Somehow, since yesterday, something or the other is happening, and
No, no, ma'am. You gave us a time to have
I
a interaction
am
with the participants.
really, really very, very apologetic, and I can begin now. I
So
really
over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. And once again, apologies, but most welcome to this program. And I hope now my PowerPoint is working, and is it visible in the slideshow mode?
Definitely it will
Oh,
work,
thank
ma'am.
God.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am. It's working well. So please go ahead.
so yesterday, um, we work with very simple situations, and we realize something very important, that whenever we are considering any mechanic situation, where before writing equations, we must identify the system, the forces, and the assumptions. And we took very simple situation yesterday. Today also we take a very simple situation, but we are going to look a little more carefully at something we usually take for granted. Okay, when something moves, is force always the full story of the motion? So let me play this video for you. I'll play it once more. Look at it very carefully. Okay. So I want you to tell me, what does the motion look like? Can you just describe it? Can you just describe what does the motion look like? Can somebody unmute and just speak out, please?
Ma'am, motion of hand is looking like periodic.
Okay, so will you just describe what kind of motion do you see here?
It was periodic with the time.
No, but first describe what is the motion.
Ma'am, can you please play it again?
Yes.
To and fro.
Let's not infer anything. Just tell me what is it that you are seeing. Okay.
To and fro motion.
Yeah, to and fro motion, ma'am.
The man is rubbing the door up and down. And the door is moving a little about the hinge.
Ma'am, I think you're muted, ma'am. Pragna, ma'am.
Pragya ma'am.
Yes. So let us look at the motion of the painter. Okay. So how do you describe that motion? Can I say that the hand is moving upward from bottom to top and then comes back again downward, right? And this is repeated 3 times. Is that fine? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes. So now let us go forward. Now, which part feels more effortful out of the two? Out of the two parts, which feels more effortful? The upward or the downward?
Upward.
Upward hand.
Upward. Okay. So now let us look at which forces are present.
Frictional force. Gravitational force, muscular force,
Okay.
and frictional force.
Okay.
Normal.
Okay. So would you, when you are considering, let us say, drawing a free body diagram, which one out of all these forces will you consider? Muscular, gravity will you consider? Weight? Yes or no? Just quickly say yes or no.
No.
Yes or no?
The point of contact with the wall, with the door.
I'm
Are
just
we supposed to?
asking you, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you
Yes.
are audible.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
you are
So
audible.
my question is, which forces are present? Then you said gravity, muscular force, normal reaction, friction. Did I hear any other force? So these were all the forces. Now I'm asking, out of these forces, which ones will you select for drawing any free body diagram for the motion that we are talking about?
The
Pardon?
normal force and
Yes.
the gravitational force that is acting downwards.
Okay. And why not muscular force? Because it is not a basic interaction, it is only the force applied through the use of muscles. So in a FBD, that particular force will not really appear. It will, that is not, and moreover, where is that? Okay, let me just move forward. Let me just not dwell on this. So now tell me one thing. So in both cases, we have the same set of forces, or in upward motion, different set, and downward motion, different set. What do you say?
Same.
Same. Okay. So now we have the same set of forces, and yet the experience is different. One seems to be more effortful, and the other one seems to be less effortful.
Once G is helping and once you are
No,
going
no,
away.
I'm not asking for any reason. I'm asking you that does it, in both cases, we have same set of forces and yet the experience is different because you said that in upward, the effort feels more and the downward stroke seems less effortful. Okay. So now tell me, Sutapa ma'am, what were you saying?
When you are applying the force to the rubber, the cloth or something, what is rubbing, the friction force is acting in contact and applying force towards the wall, and the normal is
We'll
towards.
come back to that. We'll come back to that. But
Okay.
right now,
And
I want you to
layman G is
appreciate.
once is J is helping, another is you are going against the G.
Now I am asking you again that forces were same during upward and downward motion both, right? Yet one of them appears to be more effortful and the other one appears to be less effortful. So using these forces, can you explain the difference in the effort?
Ma'am, one case is both gravity and friction are in the same direction. So when you're going upward, so we have to work against the gravity, against the opposing friction force. Is it the way to think?
So you are applying force?
Ma'am,
Because
there
in
could be
both
one more
cases, the friction
perspective.
force is, direction is different, right?
Directions is not
Now,
same for the
now,
normal force.
now, look
Ma'am,
at.
there can be one more perspective.
Yeah.
Probably when we go up, less energy is expended, more energy is expended, and when come down, less energy is expended by the person.
So the force alone doesn't seem to explain this. That is what I'm trying to tell you, which you have yourself realized. That force alone doesn't explain this effortfulness or more effortfulness. And how do we really explain this difference? So, as you said, you need to consider not only forces but energy also, right?
Force
So,
of energy.
let us explore that energy also. So, now let us look at the work done by gravity. Okay. Now, tell me, what do you say about the work done? Is gravity doing any work?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So did we ask work done on what?
On the something which is the man is holding a cloth.
So what is your system?
The system is cloth, hand, and the door.
Floor and the door.
No, cloth and the door.
Cloth and the door. So you are considering the force of gravity and the work done on the cloth and the door system.
Right.
What else do you say?
When man this brings his hand downward, he does the work, and in the same direction, gravity is doing work. So he feels less efforts in the downward direction as
No. Let's not look at less or more. I just want to understand what do you think about work done by gravity. So first thing, before we say positive or negative, we have to look at on what, isn't it? I didn't even tell you in the beginning that work done by gravity on what. So now I'm asking you to first clarify where are we considering the work done? Are we considering the work done by just the hand on the cloth and the door, or we are considering the work done by some other system on something else? I mean,
work done by gravity on the hand holding the cloth piece.
on the hand holding the cloth piece. Okay.
Work done on the door.
Work done on the door by the gravity.
Work done by the hand on the piece of cloth.
Okay.
Work done by gravity on the cloth.
On the cloth.
Ma'am, on the door.
Ma'am, may I?
Right? So now see how much clarity we need. So normally we assume that if something is moving, work is being done, but then on what? So are we thinking about the motion of the cloth relative to the hand and how the hand is moving the cloth? That is one possibility. Another is how the hand cloth system is moving on the door. So gravity is working on what? Hand cloth system, let us say. Let us club this. Let us club the hand with the man's part only, and let's not take it separately. So let's just say hand and cloth system. I've written it probably as a brush, but that is okay. Okay, so first thing we need to know is what by on what force by on what system are we considering the force? Is that right? That we should know clearly that work is being done on what? We also need to know work done by what. So which gravity are we talking about?
Earth's gravity.
Okay, Earth's gravity. Uh, Force is by something on something. So by Earth on what?
On the hand cloth system.
Okay. It's not the gravity of the Earth acting on the door.
Not if we take this as a system.
Clear. So these are the questions we need to ask in the class so that children are visualizing exactly which forces are where and where are we talking about work done on what. Now let us move on to work done by normal reaction. So let me give you the poll. I hope the poll works today. How do I go to the poll? Ma'am, can you launch the poll?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it possible for you to launch the poll? Let me check. I'll be able to do
The
it.
poll, yeah.
Yes.
Which question? Let's be precise.
Wait. But I don't see the question again here. I don't see the question here. Anyway, अब आप ऐसा करिए कि हम इसी आपने तो नहीं किया ना, आप ऐसा करिए, आप चैट में ही लिख दीजिए work done on the painter plus brush system. Now we are saying work done by the painter plus cloth, let us say cloth system by the normal reaction. So what do you say about it? Is it negative during upward stroke, positive during upward stroke, zero during upward stroke, or negative during downward stroke, positive during downward stroke, or zero during downward stroke? So take a minute, relax, take a minute, and then write in the chat box what do you think is the best answer. C and F, F, C and F, C and F, C and F, C and F. Okay, what about the rest? A also I can see. Okay, C and F, A. I would like everyone to put up their answers here. Don't worry. We are not checking the correctness. We are just trying to figure out what is the general thinking here. Okay.
My chat is not working, so to laptop. I think it is a positive during upward stroke and negative during downward stroke.
Okay. So would somebody like to say why you are saying that it is negative during one stroke and positive during the other stroke?
And of G is changing, the ma'am.
Pardon?
Of G, G is changing. Mg. G changing means direction of the force of gravity is changing. One is towards the gravity, once it is against the gravity. I have taken the against the gravity, mgh is positive. So that is why I have told that positive during upward stroke and negative during downward stroke. It is my thinking.
So
Maybe
what
I am
else?
wrong.
What else somebody else would like to say other than this reason? Yes, please.
I think it's zero in both cases because the normal force is perpendicular to the surface, the door, and the motion is up and down. So in both cases, the angle between the force and the displacement is 90 degrees.
May I
So,
know your name, sir?
Sashank, ma'am.
Okay, Sashank, sir. Okay. Okay, so which normal force are you talking about, and which normal force the earlier respondent was talking about? Are they same?
I'm talking about the normal force by the door on the system that we chose, on the hand brush
Okay,
system that we chose.
okay.
Uh,
So
Earlier,
you are saying that that normal force is doing zero work because that is perpendicular to the direction of motion.
yeah.
Okay. Now, what do you think the other person was referring to?
Yeah, my
Uh,
normal force, the direction is not changing as per my this thing because you are applying the force on the door, both in both the cases, both the motions, and the direction of the normal is towards the painter. Am I wrong?
That's fine. So I'm asking the other people also that is there any other normal force in this situation which we should talking about?
Ma'am,
Ma'am, I
to
think
ma'am,
the
uh,
normal force is acting perpendicular to that wall or that door, and the
Uh-huh.
motion which is upward or downward at displacement means
Uh-huh.
that between the normal which is force means F and S which is upward or can be downward. So Fs cos 90 which is zero.
Okay.
Yeah.
ma'am, can I say something?
Yes, please.
Ma'am, when we drag the cloth in the upward direction, we have to apply. That's what I thinking, like oblique force.
Mhm.
So,
May I say some?
Wait, let him complete. Yes, sir.
so for that oblique force, uh, if actually I was thinking about the brush, and if brush is there, so the normal reaction should not be directly perpendicular. It should be somewhat tangential, and then component can be there, and then positive and negative bugs can we think of. But for a cloth, it should be like perpendicular to the surface of the door.
Yeah, so supposing the man was applying an oblique force, maybe even through the cloth, what would you say the normal reaction's direction is? Is it going to be perpendicular to the door or at an angle to the door?
So it would be perpendicular to the surface
Hmm.
of the cloth.
Right. So that is the normal reaction we are talking about, that which is perpendicular to the surface of the door, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now I'm asking you, is there any other force, normal force in this whole situation?
May I say something?
Yes.
Madam, if the person is standing on the floor, we have considered work done on the painter plus brush. That means that person who is holding the brush, who is standing on the floor. So there will be normal reaction at his foot from the floor in the upward direction. So we have not mentioned which normal reaction. This is one normal reaction. Other one is where there is a contact with the door. So if he's pressing on the door for drawing, there will be normal reaction from the door to his hand, towards his hand, that is towards the brush. So there can be two different normal reactions, and we have to see which one we have to consider here.
Okay, so may I know your name, ma'am?
I'm Shamala Bodhane.
Okay, just when you're speaking out, just kindly tell us your first name so that I can address you back. Okay,
Sure.
supposing now we consider the normal reaction on the between the floor and the man. The other normal force we have settled already, that work done due to that is zero, whether it is upward stroke or downward stroke. Now let us talk about the normal force which is between the floor and the man. So what do you think is the work done by that?
Uh, in this case, the
Zero.
normal reaction depends on the force which he is applying on the floor, and which will not change whether his hand is moving up or down. So normal reaction remains the same, the direction of that remains the same. And now the displacement against that normal reaction will be zero. So the force will be zero.
So what is that displacement that you're talking about? Displacement being zero? Displacement of what?
He is moving his hand, but there is no change in, he is not himself moving. So I consider the displacement here is zero.
So, do all agree that the work done by the normal reaction between the ground and the man is zero, as explained by ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
So, what is your reason?
Same, ma'am, because the displacement due to the other normal force is also zero. In the first case, it was the angle which caused the work to be zero, but in this case, the displacement is zero by the normal force from the ground. So the work done is zero.
So, but we were talking about the work done on the hand cloth system, isn't it?
I think here we're looking at the painter plus brush system. That's what the question is asking. That's why I think we're considering both normal forces. If it was just the hand, maybe then only one normal force would be applicable.
That's fine. So I'm just asking you to clarify that work done on the painter brush system by the normal reaction from the ground on the person. What would you say about that? On the painter brush system.
It is not doing any work because that force specifically is not causing any displacement.
So, do you think that when the man takes the hand up and he brings it down, do you think that normal reaction remains the same and it doesn't do anything to center of mass?
Ma'am, in this case, if he's holding the brush in his own hand, what will be the force between the hand and the brush be considered as? If we consider that as a normal reaction, and the brush, when he's moving his hand upwards, so the brush does end up going in that same direction as in which the normal
So
reaction.
we are talking about the normal reaction between the floor and the man.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah. So I'm asking you that when the man moves his hand up and down, so does the normal reaction remain the same, or does it what does that normal reaction between the ground and the man don't do any work?
There is a small difference in both.
So what is that?
When he is moving his hand upward, there is a small shift in his center of gravity. And when he brings it down, there is a small again shift downward. So that energy is coming from his own body.
So I'm just talking about the work done by the normal reaction. Let's not go into anything else. I'm just talking about the work done by the normal reaction from the floor on the man.
Zero.
So why would you say it is zero?
Normal reaction will not be zero.
So that is what actually the whole confusion is this, that actually work done is always considered on what? On the point of application of force. We have to see the point of application of force always. So is the point of application of force moving or not moving? That is the criteria. So if you look at the normal reaction by the floor on the man, it is at the foot. It's really not on the center of mass. We consider it to be at center of mass for some overall force, some overall motion of center of mass. But if you look at the point of actual application of normal reaction, it is on the foot. And is the foot moving during the
No.
upward
No.
or downward motion of the
No, ma'am.
hand cloth system? No.
No.
So that is what I'm again and again saying, that we have to be specific as to understand first what is it that is being asked. First thing to ask is work done on what? And the second thing to ask, if we are considering and work done by which force? And third is at which point that force is acting? And the fourth thing is that point moving or not moving? So now, so that was the whole story about normal reaction. Now let us look at the work done by friction. So let us look at the work done by friction. So now what do you say? What is the work done by the friction between the brush and the door?
On what, madam?
Pardon?
On what, madam? Work done by friction on what?
I'm not able to hear you, sir. Could you repeat kindly?
Ma'am, work done by friction on what? Which
Exactly.
body?
So before that, which friction? Is it by the door on his hand and cloth system, or work done by his hand and cloth on the door?
Frictional
I
force
think
by
the
door on
work
the hand.
is, hello.
Yes.
So work is done by the push and not by the friction between the
No, we are
hand
talking
brush
about
and
friction
door.
only right now. We'll not digress to any other force. Let us stick to friction only. We
Yeah.
have discussed the other forces. Now we want to focus only on friction.
Frictional force by door on the man's hand, that is opposing this applied force.
So we are considering the work done on what?
Work done by friction on man.
On man, hand and cloth system.
Yeah.
Clear. So
Yeah.
now you have told me you are considering the work done by the friction by the door on hand block system. Both things are clear. The force is clear and on what is clear. So now tell me whether it is, what would you say? What is the work done? Like, is it zero, non-zero, positive, negative? What would you say?
It is when it is moving in the upward direction, it's negative.
Okay. And when it is moving down?
Downward, I think that is also negative. Because theta is 180 there.
So what does everybody say? Do we all agree that friction is always doing negative work, whether upward or whether downward?
Yes.
Yes, I
It's
agree.
always in the
One,
opposite direction. I have corrected. Yeah. One. Yes.
And what about the friction from the man cloth system on the door?
Ma'am, if the door is hinged and if it can't actually move up and down, then the work done by friction on the door will be zero. But
Right.
if all the door could actually go up and down,
Hmm.
by the work done by friction on the door, it would have been positive.
So let's assume that it's a normal door,
Yeah.
which is tightly fixed. Okay. So now if we consider all the work done on the man and cloth system, so what do we find? Normal reaction on that hand cloth system is doing no work. Friction is doing negative work. And gravity, suppose you we consider only the upward motion. So friction is doing negative work and normal reaction is doing no work and gravity is doing negative work again during the upward motion. Clear?
Yes.
So
Yes,
the total work is negative, right?
Yes.
Now, what is the speed at the beginning of the stroke, upward stroke? And what
Start
is the speed at the end of the stroke?
starts from zero, ends to zero.
0 to 0. So the change in kinetic energy is 0.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
So
ma'am, there
how
will
is
be
that possible? Something is not matching, right? Something
first
is not
all,
matching.
ma'am, force is not constant.
All right, even if it is not constant, do you think that if force varies, the nature of work will change from positive to negative?
Ma'am, starting it was accelerating, and then when it stops at the extreme, then it decelerating. So
So which force is changing here?
the force which the person is applying to take it upward.
But we are talking about the friction by the door on the hand block system, no?
Yes, ma'am.
हैंड क्लॉथ सिस्टम पर जो डोर फ्रिक्शन लगा रहा है, हम तो उसकी बात कर रहे हैं. तो क्या वो चेंज हो रहा है एक अपवर्ड स्ट्रोक में? उसकी डायरेक्शन क्या चेंज हो रही है?
I think, ma'am, the internal energy of man is also to be counted in thinking about the total work done being negative.
So the whole uh, the whole thing is that force is forces in this situation, the external forces are not able to explain this, isn't it?
Exactly, ma'am.
Exactly. It's because friction, when the cloth is taken up or down, friction by the door during the upward motion is always opposing that. Means it is always opposite to the motion during upward motion. Is there any reason to think that it is not in the same direction?
It should attempt to avoid relative motion between surfaces. So,
But the relative motion is there very much between the door and the cloth.
so friction would attempt to stop that
Stop
motion,
that. So it will be in which direction?
so that those surfaces don't slip on each other. So, in your upward movement on a fixed door, the
It will
friction
be
on
downward only, right?
yes,
So
yes,
that work will be negative by friction. Gravity is also negative during the
yes,
upward motion. Normal at that point is doing no work because it is perpendicular to motion, and we are saying that net work done by all the forces taken together is negative.
yes,
Yet the change in kinetic energy is zero. It was the kinetic energy was zero at the beginning, and at the top also it is zero. And the situation doesn't explain this fact that delta k is zero, but the net work done by forces, these forces, external forces, is not zero.
so, ma'am,
Now let us go to another situation. We will leave it here and allow you to think. See, everything does not need closure at that very point. Yesterday also, I emphasized that we should allow some struggle. We should allow some thinking to develop, right? We don't need closure of everything then and there. This we need to practice because our motherly instinct, even if you are a male teacher, our motherly instinct comes immediately into action and we try to, make it easy for children. So let's not rush for that. Now let me take another situation, and that is simple again, climbing a staircase. Okay, so let us look at it more closely, and let me ask you, where is the center of mass? Where is the center of mass?
Of what?
Of the man.
Okay.
Or let us say, what do you think that how the center of mass moves during one step? Just tell me this. How, in what way do you think the center of mass of the system is moving?
Ma'am, it should be directly above the foot he is placing on the stair.
So I'm asking now that how, in what fashion do you think the center of mass is moving during one step? When he's climbing, during just one step, how does the center of mass move? What is its motion like?
It will be low upwards.
Goes up.
From diagonal.
Upward. And does
Upward
it
and forward.
forward and upward? Is that okay? Or is there
Yes,
something?
yes.
And forward and
Forward
upward.
and upward, yes.
Upward and forward.
Upward and forward. Anything else?
Ma'am, depends on the system again, as you have been teaching us and we have been discussing it since yesterday. With respect to the ground, the center of mass is moving up and forward. But within the person, if I see, the center of mass will be there only inside the body.
In space, let us say how the center of mass is moving.
Then we can say that it is moving upward and forward.
Okay.
But person की body के अंदर जहाँ उसका center of mass है, it will remain there only.
Let us take it slowly.
Okay.
Let me ask you, where is the center of mass?
Inside the body of the person, I think near the navel. Maybe I'm wrong, but that is how I look at it.
Okay.
But as the person will move, and if you look from the space point of view, or if you look from the ground perspective, yes, it is moving up and forward.
So this is the center of mass. All right.
Somewhere here, yes.
Now I want you to know that if we track the center of mass, really, what does it stay fixed at that point?
No.
If our center of mass is somewhere in our body,
No.
does it
While you're climbing, no.
So,
Ma'am, it will shift as the person bends or lifts the leg or lean forward.
Up, you lean forward.
He's neither leaning nor bending. We are not discussing any situation where he's bending or leaning.
Well, climbing any staircase, the man
Center
is
of mass
forward.
changes a bit because the person is lifting his leg, and then keeping it on the next step. So because of the configuration in the body, yes, it will shift a bit. It will not remain there as it is.
So where will it shift?
To forward.
Forward one.
When the person is lifting his leg in front and keeping it on the next staircase, it will shift a little bit forward.
Ma'am, up and forward both.
And forward both, yes. Up and forward both, yes.
Where was it when you were standing on both legs?
Where you have drawn around that time.
So you can't see where it is inside the body. I've just shown the vertical position.
We can't tell. Yes, we can't tell.
Where do you think it would be when both feet are on the ground? Somewhere in the middle of the body? I mean, between one leg and the other leg? Somewhere right in the middle? Now, when he stands on one leg, when he stands on one leg, then how does it shift?
Upward.
Upward and forward.
It is sideways, ma'am. If it is two
Yes.
legs,
साइडवेज ऑल्सो ना?
यस, साइडवेज
आप
ऑल्सो।
एक बार
यस
दो टांगों पे खड़े हो बीच में,
यस
फिर
जी
एक टांग पे खड़े हो गए, राइट टांग पे खड़े हो गए, तो
जी
आपका
जी,
सेंटर ऑफ मास किधर शिफ्ट होना चाहिए?
टुवर्ड्स राइट।
Right side.
टुवर्ड्स राइट होगा, नहीं तो बॉडी आपकी तो गिर जाएगी।
हम्म
अगर फिर आप लेफ्ट लेग पे खड़े हो तो आपका सेंटर ऑफ मास किधर शिफ्ट हो जाएगा?
Left side.
लेफ्ट
लेफ्ट
साइड में हो
साइड।
जाएगा। तो मोशन कितनी तरह की हो गई सेंटर ऑफ मास की?
फॉरवर्ड भी, साइडवेज भी,
D.
अपवर्ड। यस।
All
यस,
three, all three.
ऑल थ्री।
हम्म
तो बात हम जो कर रहे हैं कल से बार बार कि किसी भी सिचुएशन को हमें बारीकी से खुद भी देखना है और बच्चों को भी देखना सिखाना है।
जी बिल्कुल।
तो अब अगर सेंटर ऑफ मास सेंटर में कहीं था, फिर हमने एक पैर पे खड़े हुए, फिर दूसरे पे खड़े हुए, तो वो तीनों डायरेक्शन में मूव कर रहा है, डाउनवर्ड, अप, डाउन अप, फॉरवर्ड बैकवर्ड, फॉरवर्ड backward, and then sideways also.
जी
And so one thing is that within the body it is shifting, and the other is in space it is shifting from one location to another. लोकेशन अंदर भी बॉडी के शिफ्ट हो सकती है और स्पेस में भी शिफ्ट हो सकती है, उसको रियलाइज करने के लिए। उसको रियलाइज करने के लिए आप बॉडी की शेप को मैनिपुलेट करते हो, तो वो सेंटर ऑफ मास मूव करने लगता है राइट लेफ्ट को। ठीक है, अब हम आगे बढ़ते हैं। तो विच फोर्सेस आर एक्टिंग ऑन द बॉडी?
ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स,
Gravitational force and normal reaction.
नॉर्मल
हाँ,
And
नॉर्मल
friction.
रिएक्शन, ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स,
And friction.
नॉर्मल रिएक्शन, ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स एंड फ्रिक्शन।
यस।
ठीक है,
Direction of force along which it is moving.
अभी अभी एक सेकेंड, एक एक करके पहले एक एक चीज डिसाइड करते हैं। लेट्स नॉट रश, बिकॉज दैट इज व्हाट आई डोंट वांट एवरीबडी टू डू, टू रश। ओके, नाउ let us look at the forces and the motion of center of mass. So we have identified all the three, and now we want to connect them to the motion. So how does any force play a role in the motion of center of mass? What is the role of the force in center of mass's motion?
So, ma'am, normal
Trying to accelerate.
Any force. Tell me how is it related to motion?
So normal reaction will allow him
फ्रिक्शन
to.
फॉर फॉरवर्ड मोशन।
Let me just say any force, not necessarily these three. Any force, what does it do to the motion? How
Accelerate in the direction of itself.
accelerate?
यस।
Accelerate. Okay. Now tell me how each of these are causing acceleration or not acceleration. Let us connect these. So let me connect. How do we connect? Let me go to the next slide. Yes. So we can see the weight is acting downward. Normal reaction is acting upward, and the friction is acting. So we'll look at it, how the friction is acting.
Forward.
But let me just
Forward.
take one by one. Let us look at the weight. Let us look at the weight. Now, how does it connect to direction of motion? Or let us take the motions one by one. Can I just let me check whether, yes, let us take the vertical motion. My PowerPoint get disturbed, so I'm a little uncomfortable, but fine. Let us look at the first vertical motion. Now, which force contributes to vertical motion?
The normal force.
The normal force.
Actually, then
Of course, normal force and
gravitational also.
gravity, resultant of the normal force and gravity.
Gravitational
Normal
also.
force greater than the gravity, so yeah.
So how do they contribute to vertical motion?
So normal will accelerate it up, the body upwards. Gravitational will actually decelerate it so that we don't actually end up just launching ourselves above the ground.
Okay.
So they will sort of the normal reaction will give us the lift, and the weight will decelerate us so that again we land up on the stair only, and we don't just lift on the next stair only.
Let us take one motion, one side, upward motion first. Okay.
So,
During one step, let us take just the upward motion.
Okay.
There is only upward motion during any step, isn't it?
See,
So why are you saying that you need the normal reaction will deaccelerate? What is the overall effect on the motion of the center of mass?
It changes the direction of center of mass.
Direction of center of mass?
Position.
Position, sorry.
That's okay. When motion is happening, position will change. So, but what kind of change in other than position, what kind of change is happening? Is there any other change?
It will
In the
accelerate.
motion? Acceleration.
The center of mass accelerates.
So how does it accelerate? How does the center of mass
Because it's
accelerate during in upward direction? I mean, in vertical
So
direction.
he is pressing hard, so definitely the normal force must be greater than the mg. So overall, n is more than the mg, so it is that accelerates. That is what I think.
It will accelerate. Okay, so the man should go on moving upward.
Ma'am, then weight will come into consideration now. After once the surface he has detached himself from the surface, normal reaction will cease to act. So at now the only force that will end up acting on him is one is drag, and if we neglect that, the other one will be gravitation.
But is he in the air all the time? I mean, during when he lifts one leg, is he in air?
It's always one feet is touching the floor.
See, if
will never be zero.
One person at a time, sir.
He has to exert a force more than his weight in the downward direction, so that normal reaction is more than weights.
So then how will he take off? How does the center of mass move upward then?
The normal reaction now, which is equal to the force he has applied, which is greater than his own weight, will push
Who has applied? Who has applied?
The man has applied by his foot. It has to be more than his own weight.
So what is that force by his own foot on the step? So are we considering the motion of the step, or we are considering the motion of the center of mass?
Center of mass.
Center of mass.
Aren't we considering the forces on the center of mass?
Yes, we have to consider that one. Because
so that is what we are considering, that vertical motion is contributed to during vertical motion. Any acceleration of center of mass is due to the net resultant of these two forces, isn't it? Can we say that, yes or no?
Yes.
Now my question
kindly
is
repeat.
If I'm saying that any acceleration along vertical direction is due to the net of these two forces only or not?
Yes, absolutely.
Now my next question is that are the two equal throughout the one step?
No.
So how are they different?
It is the center of mass is going upwards, so definitely n must be little greater than 2 mg.
N should be greater than weight, and that is how the only way it can accelerate upward. Now my next question is that if it is greater than weight, then the man should never stop it. He will continue to go up and up and up.
Oh, no. Here is
Only at the
the
time,
normal
Go
reaction
up
is
and up.
instant of
also
He,
splitting.
application,
wait,
it is.
not go up and up. I mean, he will continue to speed up in a vertical direction, isn't it?
And
So
normal reaction is
The
not
speed is
constant all
the
the time.
momentary, give a momentary, then after that it stops the, so momentarily it is greater, then after that it is equal.
So after that, what should happen to the normal reaction?
It
Madam,
doesn't exist. It does not exist after
empty.
that.
Why?
Normal reaction,
Why
No,
not?
it is there, it is equal to empty.
it is an instant. At the instant he applies that force, it is experienced.
But
That extra force is up.
Is
Yes.
it as long as he applies or as long as he is on the ground?
May I say something?
Wait, one by one. So if he's on the ground, he's in contact with the ground, how can normal reaction disappear? Is it ever that he's jumping from one step to other?
So,
No.
while a normal person is
Did you-
walking by 2 feet,
With
I think we never lose contact with the. It is like if you're
yes.
jumping, then it will make sense.
Correct.
But a normal person only puts 1 feet, then the other feet.
Right.
So
So
normal
my
reaction never becomes
question
zero.
is,
Yes,
my
yes.
question is that during one step from lower to upper step, can normal reaction be throughout the motion more than weight?
No,
No,
madam.
madam.
So
The
momentarily it is greater, then after that it is
Only for a
normal
moment.
reaction.
When he pushes the ground hard
Now,
to
after that,
raise.
what does he do?
May I
Madam, the
say something,
normal
madam?
reaction.
Yes, ma'am, बताइए क्या बोलना चाहते हैं आप?
Normal reaction will be in magnitude wise will be equal to the weight, but when he's having both the feet on the ground, it will be half on one side, half on the other. So normal reaction will be half of his weight, but it will be of the same magnitude on both the feet. Now, when he lifts one foot, his weight is not changing. So all that weight is coming on one foot. So the normal reaction is coming only on one foot, and that will be equal to his weight.
No, but then what is the net force in vertical direction?
It will be equal to his weight.
The difference between
I'm saying net force.
Zero.
The difference between the two
will be zero. So how does he get an acceleration in upward direction?
Ma'am, completely not. The normal reaction will be the only force that will take it for upward, because suppose if we have a feet in air and we can take it to more height also with the help of our muscular forces. So
muscular force something else, then I mean muscles are only a way of exerting some force on something else.
So, ma'am, I think that's because this is not a rigid body. So I think if
It doesn't matter, sir, whether rigid or not rigid. Simple thing is, right now you're looking at the motion of the center of mass, isn't it? My simple submission is, if you're looking at the motion of the center of mass, which is just a point, you are considering all the external forces to be acting at the center of mass, isn't it?
yeah, ma'am.
So now if weight is acting downward and normal reaction is acting upward, and if both are equal, simple thing is, how does center of mass go up? What is responsible for its acceleration upward?
It is the distribution of the mass within the body, na?
Ma'am, we are at the center of mass. Now there is no body.
No. So center of mass, position of center of mass will depend on how the whole weight is distributed among within the body.
But even after any distribution, it is at one particular point earlier, and
Yeah,
that
but now
wherever it was, even if
from
it
there
is
it is moving.
shifting, just a minute, even if it is shifting inside the body, but what is the total effect? Isn't it moving up?
Yes.
So who is responsible for that upward movement? If you are looking at the center of mass, do we consider the internal forces or only what are the external forces on the center of mass? Just
Ma'am,
yesterday we have discussed that whenever we select a system, the forces are on that. Now our system is center of mass. So what are the external forces?
Ma'am, I think frictional force is providing.
No.
Upward,
No.
upward direction motion?
The ground reaction force.
See,
Ma'am,
all this
actually,
problem is
what
coming.
we initially said,
Normal
the
reaction.
gamma force.
All this problem is coming, I'll tell you now. Because we did not look at the vertical motion in greater detail. That is the point I've been trying to make since the beginning. That before taking decisions, we need to have all the facts at our fingertip. If you look at the vertical motion, what kind of vertical motion is there of center of mass? Is it always accelerating upward? Is the speed always increasing when it is moving upward? Or in the beginning it is increasing and then ultimately is it coming to a stop, or it is going on moving upward and upward and upward and upward with increasing speed?
Madam,
Normal reaction is changing.
Yes, but first let us decide now the motion. Now that we are looking at the motion, let us first understand the motion, then we will go to normal reaction. So speed has to reduce, otherwise he cannot come to a stop at a higher point, isn't it? From a lower point, the center of mass rises. But then does it keep on moving upward with more and more speed increasing? No. The speed reduces because ultimately he comes to stop at a higher level on the next staircase. So the vertical speed has to reduce so that ultimately the vertical speed is zero when he is on the next step. So in the beginning, during vertical motion, first the speed increases. Maybe it is constant for a moment or something, and then again it starts decreasing. That is the first thing to notice. And now account for this acceleration. So if the acceleration is uh, speeding it up, then it has to be in the direction of motion. That means during going up in the beginning, the net force must be in upward direction. And that is, weight is not changing. So how the normal reaction has to change and it has to become more than weight. But then when the body needs to stop, then in which direction the acceleration has to be? Opposite to motion. That means now the downward acceleration has to act opposite to a vertically upward direction of motion. And now how can the net force be greater in, how can the net force be downward? Weight cannot change. So what has to change? Normal reaction has to decrease. Now it is another matter whether it is acting on one foot or the other foot. During one total step, wherever the normal reaction is acting, in the beginning, it has to be more than weight in upward direction. During the process of stopping on the next stair, it has to remain upward compulsively, but its magnitude is going to reduce. And therefore, weight will be more and normal reaction will be less.
Ma'am, how normal reaction is changing, like if weight is same?
तो आप मुझे बताइए फिर कैसे खड़े हो सकते हैं आप? तो फिर कभी अगर बराबर ही रहेंगे तो आप कैसे खड़े होंगे? सेंटर ऑफ मास पे नेट फोर्स कैसे लगेगा?
मैम इट
आपकी बॉडी किसी भी
विल
ऑब्जेक्ट को मूव करना है, किसी भी सिस्टम को, तो फोर्सेस तो एक्सटर्नल फोर्सेस ही उसको मूव कर सकते हैं ना. एक्सिलरेशन तो एक्सटर्नल फोर्सेस ही प्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं.
Ma'am,
Are
when we are
muscles external to the system?
standing, obviously weight and normal forces are equal.
ठीक है.
But when we are taking a step up, then there is changing in normal reaction, and weight remains still same.
Correct.
So in that process, I was asking that how normal reaction is changing. Is it a matter of muscular forces or what?
By, by changing the action we do on the ground so that the ground also changes its reaction, that is normal reaction on us. That is a mechanism.
See,
ma'am,
we
say
are
that
walking also, we are doing something with our feet, like we could be fingers or something. So that deformity or whatever that those forces that we will develop in that time, they are the ones which will give us that sort of external force that we are looking here. Because just by we not doing anything, we will not raise ourselves. So
Fine.
we the when we do that, the normal reaction will increase because weight
Increase
is
or
tied to
decrease
the
that.
mass. Weight is tied to the mass, and that will be mg only. But now, when let's say my fingers are pressing against the surface, and I try to now squeeze the surface underneath with the muscular force or whatever say we will call it, this will give us that added force which will cause the acceleration of the center of mass to lift upwards.
Just we don't need to look what is happening inside. For this example, I mean, we are not going into internal forces which are internal to the system. How we are getting that reaction, normal reaction from the ground is another matter altogether, which we are not discussing. Our explanation of center of mass's vertical motion should be based on the external forces acting on the center of mass. And unless the normal reaction increases or decreases in comparison to weight, it
Great.
simply cannot
Cannot.
accelerate upward or downward. That is the whole thing. So the whole idea is that we always need to first understand everything minutely before we jump to conclusions. Now let us look at the forward motion. Let us look at the forward motion. Now tell me, is it friction which is causing the forward motion or some other force?
Friction.
Okay. So tell me how does friction cause the forward motion?
When we
Madam, the
step forward, the reaction force from the steps gives us the friction that moves us forward.
So which friction are we talking about?
Action, reaction, both.
The friction from the back foot, on the back foot, by the
On
Static
floor.
the on the foot, right? By the step, by the floor,
Yeah, ma'am.
by the floor on the foot, which is effectively, we are saying that it is acting on the center of mass because we are considering the motion of the center of mass. So now, how does it act on the center of mass? Does it act forward or does it act backward? What is the direction?
both directions.
Why would you say that?
So, ma'am, just like in the previous case, one was causing it to accelerate upwards, but eventually we wanted to come to rest on the next step. So here also, one time we are propelling the body forward, so we'll need a forward acceleration. But again, we on the next step, we again would want to come to rest. So that it now the friction will act in the opposite direction while we are placing the foot on the ground, so that eventually the center of mass will come to rest at that higher elevation.
So this is which kind of friction? Kinetic or static?
Okay, so
Static.
Static friction.
I think
Static
it's
friction.
static friction.
Static friction. Static friction. So that is clear how it is happening. Now tell me what happens to the sideways motion. Who is causing the sideways motion?
Lifting up the foot.
Lifting of the foot. So, I mean, that is some motion of the center of mass that we are describing now. But
Yeah.
now we are talking about the cause of which force is causing the sideways acceleration of the center of mass. We discussed earlier that when we go from one foot to the other foot, the center of mass moves sideways, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now there has to be some external force which can explain this motion.
Ma'am, could it be
The
friction again?
the foot is up is giving the normal reaction, that is,
But
and
normal
also
reaction is vertically up or down,
up,
always vertically up. And here
vertically
we are
up,
talking about the
and
sideways acceleration.
then we are lifting the left foot, suppose. So then the upward force is from that is also upward. Am
But
I?
ma'am, we are not talking about upward motion at all now. No? We finished
No,
it.
no, no. But to balance it, then we go our center of mass shifting also upward. So this is the mechanism is happening inside the body. External force is giving the force by the left foot. And the normal reactions, which is in the right, in this figure, right foot, left foot is the upward motion, and right.
Can any object apply force on itself?
No.
So
your
how
left
can
foot
you
is the lifting,
generate?
now, ma'am.
How
Lift
can
the
you
foot.
generate? Supposing you were in the air, would you be able to then shift your center of mass like this sideways?
No, because you are getting the extra force from the normal reactions from the left foot,
That
from
is
the
only
ground.
vertical motion ना मैम. आप तो sideways motion की बात कर रहे हो. वो तो
Ma'am, the
vertical
left,
motion था.
ma'am, the right foot
Ma'am,
is giving by lifting it in the air.
the
Okay.
person
Anybody
is
else would
pushing
like to
the
say something?
Ma'am, I think it should
ma'am,
be
ma'am,
friction
just
only.
I'll
Ma'am, is it static?
ma'am. So I want to add.
Yeah.
So the person is pushing the leg in the not a perfectly vertical. It is a kind of sideways. It's a slanting direction. So obviously the friction also kind of the slanting. So one component is the normal, the other component is the forward. So the forward component of the static friction force is causing the sideways acceleration of the center of mass.
There has to be sideways friction also. Otherwise, what is the external
Yes.
force that that acts during that time?
Ma'am, we can talk of if it is a rigid body since it is changing its shape, so we should not think much of force also, external force, which causing the sideways shift in the center mass.
So now if you look at it, can you shift the center of mass without the sideways friction so much?
Ma'am, may I add something?
Will you not fall on, will you not slip if there was no sideways friction? Just think about it.
Yes.
You can do it maybe by shifting the body, the center of mass will shift sideways by changing the configuration of the body, but you also have to see whether the body will remain without slipping. Do you not need friction also? Just think about that and then we will go from here.
Ma'am,
So, yes,
what about action reaction force? Won't that be coming into play here?
we are talking about the motion of
Yeah, so the foot is putting motion of the center of mass.
center of
So,
mass. So we are talking about forces on the center of mass.
right. So if center of mass is exerting the force on the stair, there will also put back some force, right?
So that
Because of
is what
which,
is that is happening through the foot, na?
yeah,
Center
so
of mass
won't
से
that be
directly
the
कोई force नहीं लगा रहा है ना? So and that force only is the normal reaction or the friction.
true, but won't that be the cause for the sideways motion?
So that's what we are discussing, that there is a sideways friction as well.
Yes. No, no, that's what I'm trying to add. That won't, this would be the another way to look at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
forward motion as discussed earlier, the friction is if we are pressing the ground in the oblique direction, then the forward component of the normal reaction also helping him to go forward.
That is okay, but there is a normal force only acts along vertical direction ना सर. अगर आपका फोर्स obliquely आप ग्राउंड पे लगा रहे हो तो जो उसका हॉरिजॉन्टल कंपोनेंट है दैट इज फ्रिक्शन ओनली.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
is not normal reaction. So we are talking about friction only, na?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
one is this component of friction which moves forward to backward. And then when we go to sideways friction, you have one in this direction and the other one in the opposite direction. Which may contribute to sideways motion other than manipulation of your body. That is all I'm going to say. Okay. Now, are these forces constant during the motion?
Ma'am, how these sideways friction come into play?
sideways friction कौन दे रहा है यहाँ पे? Who is giving?
The only thing that can give is the floor.
May I say something here?
Yes, ma'am.
When you have to move upwards, when we lift one leg to balance our body, the foot which is on the floor, the lower one, which we have still kept on the step, we cannot be keeping it just vertical, but we push the floor little bit. If I have lifted right leg, we push it little bit towards the left. Because of that only I can balance myself.
See, probably
right?
what you're saying is it is slanting like this, the way this is. Just a minute. Let me take this. I think what you're saying is this way you are applying the force. So that will have one normal component and one this component, horizontal. And that horizontal component is what is contributing to friction, that is one. But if your leg also is tending to apply force in such a fashion that it is also pushing the ground little bit more on the side than ground.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. Is to balance our body, we have to push it little bit on the side as well.
Well. And that will give you a push on the other side from the ground, which would be horizontal only, but sideways. One is forward backward, the other is left right, sideways, left right to the man.
Ma'am, can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Suppose one, instead of stepping up on the stairs like this, if we imagine that one person is standing on his one foot, one leg, and then one can recognize how we balance our body and how the side of the feet is exerting force on the ground to keep ourselves balanced.
Correct.
So that can be applied here, where the sideways friction comes into action to shift the center of mass sideways in each
Right.
case.
So I'll take your point forward. Supposing you were on one foot, left foot, and then you were trying to shift your center of mass towards right by lifting the left foot up. Okay. So now when you lift it and the center of mass shifts to the right, now if it is, supposing it was accelerating, how would you stop it? There has to be some sideways force again by the ground, no, to stop that sideways motion. Like this also you can think that there has to be a sideways friction which would stop the center of mass from moving for more to the right side.
So the other leg will give the opposite friction force, right? The other way, such a way that it is giving the opposite so that both are balancing. Is it the way to think?
Sir, that is what I think, that friction will act sideways to accelerate or to deaccelerate sideways motion. And let us go forward. We will have another discussion on it some other day, but let me just move forward because I don't know what is the time now. It is 7:15 already. Okay. So the point that I wanted to make is that the forces may not be constant. The forces are changing all the time. And what is happening to the speed during one step? Are these forces constant? Weight is constant, but normal reaction is not constant. Friction is not constant. And now, what does this tell us about
Normal
friction?
component makes it move in the upward direction, and friction causes it to move in the forward direction. So net upward and forward motion both.
So the forces are changing, and now tell me how does the friction relate to motion through work? What do you say is the work done by friction during the motion?
It's positive, ma'am, because
Yes.
it is
Total horizontal distance covered by him from the foot of the stairs to the top of the stairs.
Anybody else? Anybody else?
Ma'am, friction again. So when you will want to come to stop, you will require friction for that as well. So in that case, it will be doing a negative work. So it is causing the acceleration as well as it's causing the deceleration.
That is okay. But
But
what
overall
about
net
the work done? What
work
about the
done
work done?
work done by friction will be positive.
What makes you say that?
So because if I take this to be an axis and then uh, the force that is causing his forward motion is friction only. So his displacement and his the direction of friction both are in the same direction. So
Where is the friction acting?
Okay, on the feet.
Is that sliding? Is the point of contact tending to slide, or is it actually moving? Is it sliding actually?
It's moving, not sliding.
Not sliding,
does it?
static friction.
So is the point of application of friction here really moving as long as it is in the contact? Is it sliding? Or we just lifting? Or what? Do you think the point of contact is sliding?
so,
No.
ma'am, I think point of
Point of
contact is
contact
not
is not
friction here.
sliding. Being the path of the same body, center of mass is moving forward.
Right, but now here is my point that can you take the work done by friction to be at the center of mass? I mean, and now we are talking about the work done by friction on the man, but can we consider it to be doing work on the center of mass? It is acting at the feet. So, but the feet are not moving. As long as they are in contact, they are neither moving forward nor moving left. So the point of contact of friction is not moving anywhere. And so the work done by friction is zero here. Then you look at the other force. Now let us go to the normal reaction. Now what happens to the normal reaction? Tell me what happens to the normal reaction. Is normal reaction doing any work?
Same from that logic, ma'am, it is also not doing any work. But
Not
I think,
doing
ma'am,
any, because
yeah.
it is acting on the foot. And that point of action of normal reaction, actual point of application of normal reaction is not moving.
Right, ma'am.
So that is not doing any work anymore. And now let us look at the gravity. What happens to the gravity? Does it do any work?
Negative work.
Negative work.
Negative work. Okay? Negative work. Now, what happens to the speed during one step?
Increases initially and then decreases.
So, what is the net change? So, initially, you are saying that it is increasing. Initially, what was it at the beginning of this the step taking process?
Yes, ma'am.
What was it at the beginning? At the beginning of the step and end of the step, what is it?
Zero initial.
Rest 0.
Both the times it is 0, right? Both the times it is 0.
Yes, ma'am.
So now let us see what is happening. Gravity does negative work, friction does no work, and normal reaction does no work. The speed in the beginning of the step is 0, and at the end of the step is 0. So what is the change in the kinetic energy over one step?
Also
Zero, ma'am.
zero.
It is 0. So over one step, the net change in kinetic energy is 0. Right?
Yes.
So now let us collect all that we have. We have motion is happening because forces are acting. Friction and normal reaction cause motion, acceleration, but no work. Right? And gravity does negative work. Yet kinetic energy is not changing. So how is this possible? Net work done by all the forces taken together is negative or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Normal reaction 0, friction 0, gravity negative work.
Ma'am, the forces which we are applying like feet and we are taking differently on center of mass. I think when we consider center of mass and we apply all the forces on it, then I think normal reaction we also have to apply because this is a conceptual thing. तो हम वैसे नहीं देख सकते कि सेंटर ऑफ मास वहां पर है तो उस पर नॉर्मल रिएक्शन हमें नहीं लगाना है.
देखिए अगर आप सेंटर ऑफ मास पे भी लगा लेंगे, सेंटर ऑफ मास तो पॉइंट ऑफ एप्लीकेशन ऑफ फोर्स है नहीं, तो आप कैसे कैसे लगा सकते हैं?
That is true, but to understand the motion of the whole body, this is we take center mass conceptually. So if we take it like this, then the gravity
नहीं नहीं
forces
नहीं नहीं,
are.
सुनिए, कॉन्सेप्चुअली आप कब ले सकते हैं? जब आप एक्सेलरेशन कंसीडर कर रहे हो. इफ यू रिमेंबर योर पोजीशन ऑफ सेंटर ऑफ मास, mass is actually only a mathematical point. Center of mass is only a mathematical point. And if you remember, it comes from free summation of vectors, which gives us net force is equal to ma, where m would have been the mass of that body, which should have generated the same acceleration a had the forces been acting, all external forces been acting at that particular point.
Yes,
So
ma'am. In rigid
it's a
bodies.
hypothetical mathematical point.
Yes, ma'am.
तो
For rigid
जब
bodies.
आप नहीं तो आई अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट यू आर ट्राइंग टू से. यू आर सेइंग कि उसी तरह हम वर्क डन भी सेंटर ऑफ मास पे कंसिडर कर लेते हैं. बट हमारी जो डेफिनेशन ऑफ सेंटर ऑफ मास है, डज इट अलाउ अस टू डू दैट, और इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ वर्क अलाउ अस टू डू दैट? अगर हमारी श्रद्धा है सेंटर ऑफ मास की करंट डेफिनेशन में, और हमारी श्रद्धा है वर्क की करंट डेफिनेशन में, If we believe in those definitions of center of mass and the definition of work done as defined right now, can we do this? So there is what? There is a disconsonance between the two. कल भी हमने यही बात की थी कि अगर हम दो अलग अलग तरीके से सेम रिजल्ट पे नहीं पहुंचते तो क्या दिक्कत है? या तो हमारी रीजनिंग गलत है या हमारा मॉडल गलत है.
बट मैम यहाँ पे
Either
जब
our reasoning is wrong or our model is wrong. What do you think? Has our reasoning been wrong anywhere? So far, whatever is the known definition of center of mass, that is for the consideration of acceleration. So we have applied that whenever we wanted to find out about the net acceleration of center of mass. But the definition of work done involves work done by a force at the point of its application only. And that definition, when we have actually applied, we get a result which does not give us same delta K as net work done by these forces.
Ma'am, then we have to talk of only feet, not the whole body, because the application of force is on the that point only on feet.
Right. So that is what I'm trying to tell you, that our reasoning has not been wrong. If we go by the strict current definition of work, our reasoning is not wrong if we go by the strict current definition of center of mass. So our reasoning is correct. So the only thing possible is that modeling is not correct. So where is the problem with the modeling? The problem with the modeling is that it is only considering the work done by the external forces. But when there is a flexible body, whenever there are flexible bodies, it is not a rigid body. Work done W equal to F dot S or integral F dot dx, that is strictly for a point object, which is really a point whose displacement we are looking as dx, the point of application of force. That should be a point only. But here, the body itself is not a rigid body which is applying the force, and the point on which the force is applied is fixed in this particular fashion, then the definitions don't gel. So whenever there is a rigid body, then the modeling has to change. We have to account for the work done by internal forces also. So the first idea that we have to understand and appreciate, which might be shocking, is force can cause acceleration but need not supply energy. It will do zero work. The force which is causing acceleration need not give any energy for that acceleration, for the movement. Force giving acceleration is totally different from force contributing to energy. These are separate. A force can generate acceleration, but a force may not transfer energy.
Yes, that is true. But here you are, why energy is the kinetic energy you are talking when it is, you are considering the mass and the velocity, means you are checking the speed. Then you are considering the kinetic energy and the work done or working on a point on the mass, center of mass, you are considering the ma'am. It is may not same, but change in the kinetic energy for one step is at the beginning and at the start completing, it's zero.
Correct. So let us see what is the change in the potential energy, delta U.
That is there.
That is mgh, isn't it?
Yes.
Work done by external forces gravity is doing certain work, others are not doing, and that work done by gravity is mgh, right?
Right.
But that is, if you take the net change in energy for this whole, all the forces taken together, that is connected to your work energy theorem or not? What does work energy theorem say? That the net change in the energy should be equal to the work done by all the forces taken together.
Right.
So the net work done by all the forces taken together is negative.
Negative.
But the change in kinetic energy is zero.
So potential energy is increasing, so if it is balancing.
Right. Where is it balancing?
Because
It
due
is
to the
not.
height, it is not.
Net work done by gravity is minus mgh, na?
Yes.
And zero by friction and zero by normal reaction.
Zero by.
तो नेट वर्क डन तो कितना आया? माइनस mgh आया ना?
माइनस mgh आया, yes.
और डेल्टा के कितना है? जीरो है.
जीरो है.
तो कहाँ नेट वर्क डन की डेल्टा के बराबर आया? नहीं आया ना?
तो मैम
Could
work
we
done.
consider thrust force also? Can we define thrust as as a force in itself?
Where is the thrust? I mean, external force, there is no thrust. The thrust that you're saying by the floor on the man, that is normal reaction.
So
What
I'm
else
I'm
is?
thinking about, ma'am, how so at the feet the normal reaction is there, but if we break apart the extended body into multiple parts, it is sort of those action reaction pairs are ultimately not, each for each part, ultimately the upper force is higher than the lower force, while the external body is stretching. So I don't know if that can be considered
Ultimately, you
as.
are coming to the internal forces only.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yeah.
So that is my submission. That to get this thing, delta k equal to zero, you have to have the net work done by external forces and the net work done by internal forces. So
So
external force is doing minus mgh total together. So internal work has to do plus mgh.
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am,
Then
in
only
this
the net
case,
delta K would, net force done by all the
Done by
internal and
care.
external.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Yes, it is my
That will become zero. And then
that
you get
becomes
delta.
zero. If it's external is zero, minus, the internal must be zero. Yes, positive.
Right.
Yeah.
ma'am, in
So
this case, if you look at it, see, any force, it can do only work while it exists. So while our feet was pushing against the floor and we were trying to raise it, so if in the end, let's say the feet ends up going upwards, so you can say the kinetic energy of all the particles that made up that feet has actually increased.
no,
So
but then it no, but then it has stopped also
and that is because
ultimately.
of gravity. So eventually, like gravity is what we are showing negative work. So that eventually will bring it to zero. But the energy to actually lift the body up would come
Is the
from
direction of gravity changing? No, na. It's
direction of
downward
gravity is not
always.
changing. Yes. So
So
that
the work done throughout from one step to the other is minus mgh only.
okay. Because see, okay, we are having here non-conservative forces also. So which
Which
will
are those?
so friction is there, and
That's
there will
okay.
be so
So friction is
the
not doing
forward the
any work. We saw
uh,
that.
yeah, that's okay.
And we also saw normal reaction is not doing any work because the point of contact of normal reaction was not moving as long as the normal reaction was acting on a particular foot, that foot was not moving. The moment you lift that foot, normal reaction no more acts on this foot but on the other foot now.
Okay, see, but the body is not a point object, like you said. So it is in the end, there are internal forces which are holding the whole body together. So it's like when I will put my feet on the next step and I try to like lift my other feet. So that action will give me the lift in the center of mass, right? So, but for causing that, the whole, say, the atoms and molecules that may make up the body will end up going upwards, will need to go upwards. And that can't happen without the application of a force. So, and the moment if its position is changing, that means its kinetic energy would have changed. And the moment, and this force will only apply for the moment, for the duration that in which the contact was there with the, say, for the, say, lift. So whatever that, say, fraction of second was there. So that is the only one which is providing it the actual energy, and that is coming, in a way, it's coming from the body only because
That's what we are just saying, na, sir?
yeah, it is
वो
coming
जो
from there only.
energy है, that is
Because
internal
otherwise
forces.
we should not feel any, say, we should, हमें थकना नहीं चाहिए. मतलब if we are, if the work is not being done by the internal,
by the external.
Yeah, but see, in this case, I don't know, but internal energy तो हमारे अंदर से ही आ रही है. So
वो तो केमिकल
yeah,
एनर्जी जो है आपकी बॉडी
yeah,
में
yeah.
मसल्स के थ्रू that is getting converted in such a fashion that one part of the body is applying some force on the other and pushing it little up. So locally at that point, internal forces are applied on the next part, which is pushed little, and then the next part is pushed a little, and then next part is pushed a little. तो वहां पर तो इंटरनल फोर्सेस आर डूइंग द वर्क ना. यू आर राइटली थिंकिंग अबाउट इट.
But ma'am, just say, for instance, you look at gravity, the work done by gravity, in the end, it's a negative acceleration of g that we are giving. So, and it should cause a change in kinetic energy only from that aspect.
It's my submission is that if you look at one kind of motion, vertical motion only, na, gravity can affect. But then for motion in that direction, if you look at the acceleration, normal reaction is also there.
Yes.
So together, they are providing some acceleration. But together they are the net work done by them only. तो you will see ना कि
Ma'am,
energy से
let's say,
relation कितना है.
if in this case we imagine the object to be a point only, right? If we were a point,
If you were a point, then let's forget about internal forces.
yes. So
But
in
if you are thinking about internal forces, then you are not a point. Then you are a flexible body.
absolutely, yeah.
So we cannot see. Problem is that for looking at the acceleration of the center of mass, you can bring only the external, you can bring all the external forces to act at that point. But when you go to work done is only defined for acting at a particular point. That is the point of application of the force.
But
So,
ma'am, again, then these laws have been written with some assumptions and constraints that which were also governed by. So
yeah, so
you're right.
now
So,
to arrive at the same result, जैसे आप सेंट्रीफ्यूगल स्यूडो फोर्सेस की बात करते हैं कि आपको एक पर्टिकुलर मॉडल अप्लाई करना ही करना है अगर, तो फिर आप क्या उसमें चेंजेस लाओगे, क्या एक्स्ट्रा इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स आप उसमें डालोगे. तो सेम वे अगर हमको वर्क की करंट डेफिनेशन से जाना है कि वर्क डन इज, to find the work done, we have to see at what point the force is actually applied, and that point of application, does it move or not. तो एक्सटर्नल फोर्सेस को जब हम देखते हैं इस डेफिनेशन पे तो वो नहीं कर रहा है. लेकिन जैसा आपने बोला कि इफ यू लुक एट द इंटरनल फोर्सेस, each small part inside the body
yeah, absolutely.
pushing the upper
Pushing
part.
the upper part, yeah.
So
Yeah.
now
Now, Yes.
Now to find out the work done by the internal part on the other internal part, you are using the current definition of the work done.
Yes. Absolutely.
And to be able to use
Be able
that
to use that. Correct. Absolutely. You're right.
and to get delta K also to be
Yeah.
zero,
Hmm.
then you have to take internal forces into
Absolutely.
consideration.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
your model of the work done, current definition, current model of the work done, now leads us to the same result, delta K equal to 0.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah.
So just what we said yesterday, that physical reality doesn't change. Only description can change. But here the description is always delta K to be equal to 0. तो या तो हमारी रीजनिंग जो डिस्क्रिप्शन दे रहे हैं डेल्टा के का कि हाउ दिस इज कमिंग, इट इज कमिंग थ्रू वर्क डन. बट अगर हम वर्क डन को सिर्फ वी टेक इट बाय द एक्सटर्नल फोर्सेस, then our model is not working. It is not leading us to this result. So what should we do to our model? Then we cannot look at the work done at the center of mass because it is not defined like that. It is defined as the force, the movement of the point of application of the force only. So then we know that there is something more to the story, and that rest of the work plus mgh added to minus mgh, which will give us 0, that mgh has to come from somewhere. So that somewhere is by understanding that it is the internal forces which must be contributing. Now ask, can we apply the same definition of work to the internal forces? Yes, we can. If we consider how one part is applying force on the upper part, and at that point of application, we can calculate the work done. So all these small work done by the internal forces, now they will add up actually if this exercise done to plus mgh, and that will give us delta K to be 0. So for me, when I first looked at this, that, oh, how the force can generate acceleration but cannot give energy. I mean, individually, we always looked at it that, okay, this force is not doing any work. This force is doing positive. This is doing negative. But it never came to my mind that if there is acceleration in this direction due to one force, and still there is not energy being given by that force for that movement in that direction, that is amazing. फिर कहाँ से आ रही एनर्जी भाई? And that is how we arrive at this, that energy source must be internal forces whenever there is a flexible system. So I hope that today also we have done something fruitful. I'll stop my share today. And it was wonderful discussion and participation by everyone here. And thank you so much for enriching this discussion. Without your inputs, it would not have gone anywhere. So we made it together. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, thank you. Thanks a lot. We will meet tomorrow for the next session.
Hello.
Meenakshi ma'am, do you want to say anything? So I'm just going to share the feedback link, or I will share it in the WhatsApp group too.
Thanks, Pragya ma'am, for your interactive talk. Really, you have designed problems in the wonderful manner. Really, you see, this is amazing that you are taking the example in which case you are saying there is acceleration, there are forces, but work done is 0. So really, it's marvelous and thought-provoking session. So, ma'am, thanks a lot. Thank you very much for such interactive, useful, and really, you have worked a lot for this. So thanks a lot, dear ma'am. So thanks to all the participants also, because it's possible only due to their responses. So thank you very much. Thanks to all.
I just want to add, if anybody still has any question, you can post it on the chat, and I'll call you and discuss this after 28th.
Sure. Thank you.
Ma'am, Shashank Verma has raised his hand.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, actually, I had a question, but we're definitely out of time. So, and maybe you can answer on 28th. So the question basically is, ma'am, should I put it on the chat? Is that better on the WhatsApp chat? Or should
Yeah,
I say
if
it
you
out
could
now?
kindly put it on the chat.
Yes,
I
I'll do
would
that.
have done it today, but I have a very big workshop coming up for
Yes,
28th. It's a long, long birthday for me. So after 28th, I will sit down and definitely discuss it with you. I'll call
done,
you.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Done, ma'am. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
It was a pleasure having you here.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And bye-bye.
Bye. Good night.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Will you upload this video to Classroom today?
Surely, we will try after processing.
Okay,
It
no,
takes
not
some
today,
time
like
for
tomorrow or day
processing.
after tomorrow. Yeah, it's fine. So will you upload it, right?
Right.
Okay, fine. Thank you.